Welcome to News with a View, a Fat Cat production. Your host, John A. Costa, with Alice Incognito today. It's been 10 days since I did my last show. I took some time off, feeling much, much better. Whatever horrible disease I had running through me, I've given to the good people of Disney when I went there, so... we would have been up about 3 minutes earlier, but I forgot to put the memory card in the computer here too, and I couldn't understand why it wouldn't record. So it happens. I'm old. Not like I said, I'm not a smart man. This is unscripted today. It is March 28th. This will be episode 51. I'm doing some retooling of the program to go make it more commentary than it is news factual, but I will still be using factual news to discuss things with. Not going to really change it that much. You'll just have more of me talking, which is a wonderful thing for everything.
It's 100% you talking.
That's right. I could draw little sketch, stick figures.
Happy Friday.
All right. And while we do that, now I'm going to change into my normal program here. I'm going to move this mic over here so we could hear Alice.
Hi, everybody. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
I'm
really. Back.
Really. I was going to do a show last Wednesday, and then
it's 2 Wednesdays. It's been 2 weeks.
I know, and then another call. Oh, I can't make it. I'm calling out sick.
I'm still getting paid, right?
You understand how this all works, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's frightening, but this is what I have to put up with.
Take it up with Doge. Don't want to hear it.
Yeah, really. Elon Musk laughs at me. So
talking about Elon Musk and the Teslas and people destroying them and defacing them. We have about 9 Cybertrucks in our area that I don't know. Have you seen them on the road?
Yes,
I know. I have. Yeah,
they're ugly. I don't like them.
You know what they are? They're not.
Yeah. Yeah. They look like bread boxes.
Yeah, they're not pretty. There's nothing pretty or classic about it. It's just it's very new age.
Have any been damaged here?
No, we've had no one. No, we have not had.
I know in Charleston
issues.
There was a dealership and they caught the person doing it, and they will. The whole idea of going after the Teslas. Let me tell you, he doesn't care. He's got insurance. All these dealerships have insurance against that. Yeah. And all you're doing is, I don't know, probably setting yourself up for at least a 5 to 10 year jail sentence.
But these are the same people that pushed for electric vehicles, the EV sensation, They sensationalized how great it was going to be. These are the same people who still supported him. And now, because nothing's changed because
it's not he's
in the White House.
Vehicle that they're fighting, it's the person they're fighting. And it is not, because
such hypocrisy. Hypocrisy.
You're trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. And these people that are doing this, whether they're doing it on an individual type of situation or they're in some type of unorganized group, which I believe they're in some unorganized group, it's not going to do anything. Listen, you either like Musk or you don't. You either like a Tesla or you don't. And it comes down to that simple. If they think they're going to terrorize people and go, well, I'm not going to buy a Tesla because I don't want someone coming up to me in a parking lot. I'm going to tell you right now, in South Carolina, if that were to happen, someone's putting a bullet in your head. And the cops will come and give the person that shot them a medal, and that will be the end of it. And I think that's going to be in a lot of these states where, these people are going to be confronted and you're going to go, I feel unsafe.
Yeah. Well, you're defacing property.
It's not even that.
Well, why are you even why are you even going to great lengths to do stuff? Like, why are you hurting someone's? You know, they spent money for that. They have car payments for that. They pay car insurance. That's their vehicle to get to and from in their daily life, including work. Maybe they don't work and they're just.
It doesn't matter if they're using that for joy or status or their job. You don't destroy people's property.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You destroy their property. Let me tell you, it's called FAFO. That's what's going to happen to you.
Yeah, you're gonna find out very quickly,
Yeah.
and I think these people that start getting jammed up with this are going to find out real quick that Trump's not playing games with this stuff.
And I mean, you don't have the summer of love where you were allowed to burn.
This is
and but it's okay.
Yeah, right. And I mean, you're
We're
into this whole
our joy.
Your whole Tesla, anti-Tesla, and you got Tim Walz, the biggest moron coming out of the Midwest, who's sitting there and goes, I have an app that goes off every time it goes down. and his son is going, hey, Dad, don't we own 1 million shares of that? And the guy's an idiot. And this is who, Tim Walz for president, Harris for president again. I mean, stop. Stop. Democrats, take a breath. Step back. Your guys are going to implode. Take a step back and realize this is not a sound approach to take to someone like Trump. And you will lose. It
shouldn't just be Trump. That behavior should not be.
But you know what?
It's unacceptable.
You have Schumer up there who, all GOP, every Republican's a bastard. And they come
and he
out with
shouldn't be saying stuff like that. And that's disgusting.
He incites. Just like, who was it? The talk show host that said, "Don't go out and send any Teslas on fire."
Don't tell me it was Whoopi.
No, well, Whoopi. No, Whoopi's not that bad.
I mean, The View. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Really?
She's not that bad.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You feeling all
No,
right?
but you get your people on these late night talk shows who come out and say, don't burn cars. That's bad. And it's a tacit approval to a few to go out there and do it. And these people should be held accountable. ABC should fire Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Jimmy Kimmel should be fired.
But they don't.
Oh, you know what?
Those
Colbert Show,
get to speak on the air.
Show, and all these others are on the chopping block. I'm telling you right now, they're on the chopping block. They are money losers. Those shows used to take in and carry people into the next late night, like late night.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. The viewership is down to nothing on a lot of these shows.
Your Nielsen viewership is.
They're just not watching it. They're watching Rick and Morty before they'll watch them. And
good shout out. Love Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Go Red. Okay, so I digress.
Yes.
Sorry.
But it's that type of attitude with the Democrats. And the moderates, again, are being shouted out. I'm just going to lower this. I see this just tracking a little bit too loud. There we go.
Are we yelling? It's probably me. I'm angry and yelling. But I'm really not.
No, not you. No.
It's the only way I know how to talk.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. I'm not mad at you. It's just how I talk.
And the Democrats are going to implode unless they take a step back. And I said it, and I'll say it again. I've said it on 5 or 6 occasions now. Democrats, as much as it pains you, jump on Trump's bandwagon. Be part of it. Because you're not going to steer the bus. You're not going to steer that wagon. But what you could do is have the ear of the person steering it. And if you really have a good idea, I'm going to tell you right now, Musk is going to look at it, and Trump is going to look at it. Now, everyone thinks that Musk is running. Musk isn't doing anything. Musk is the watch my hand over here. Watch my hand here while I'm doing this over here.
Simple distraction.
And right. And you people don't, I mean, the media, everyone, they took the bait. And not only did you take the bait, you took the hook, and the hook is set. You're not spitting it out now. You guys are committed down a path that has no end. And you're just going to have to keep going down that road. And it's going to end up where you're going to be, and you see it already, the fighting amongst yourselves is unbelievable. And, and you have Elon Musk in there who, in 90 days, has he collected, and not even 90 days, it's like 81 days, but has he really collected the data that, he's talking about? And by him going and saying, hey, I have all this information, look at this, I have this all, hasn't shown any of it. But you could see the panic that it causes. The people who are losing their jobs. I mean, these were, if you look at the rise of the federal government in the last 4 years, it's gone up over 30%. Why?
Exactly. Why?
Why? And they're not even working in the government. They're just staying at home.
That was the way for them, the Democrats, during
their
presidency, with Biden, was to say that, oh, look at our numbers as far as employment. Those numbers went up.
It was all fake.
It was inflated.
It was fake.
Yep.
And the truth is coming out on it. And a lot of these people, and yes, I feel sorry for them. I do. I do feel sorry for people. No, I feel sorry for the people that were duped by the Biden administration into taking jobs and then going and buying cars and thinking that this is going to improve them and their lot in life, when it was all a hoax. It was a house of cards. And they were lied to. They shouldn't be mad at Elon Musk. They shouldn't be mad at President Trump. President Trump is out there looking at the American taxpayers to go, we can't afford to do this.
Well, then they don't need to be mad at them. If they're going to be upset, then remember, then you need to be mad at the American voter, because we saw right through it all. And that's why we wanted what happened. Because we saw through it all. We knew what was going on, and it was time to clean house.
Don't bang the table. It goes right to the mic.
Oh, sorry.
God, I got to teach her everything. It's like television 101.
Hello? Hello? But, I mean, come on now. And let's be real here. Like, it's like any job. Right to work state, equal opportunity employment. You don't know. You can have vested 5 years, 1 year, 19
20 years, yeah.
And you'd let go.
Yeah.
So there's no real loyalty anymore in that.
And it's not even loyalty. It is viability. Can a company, and if you're looking at the United States as a business, and that's what Trump does. He looks at it as a business. Is it sustainable? Now, in the government, they just take more money in, or they shuffle it and they go into debt, and there's no one saying, hey, ooh.
But now there is, and well, and I'm glad there is, because honestly, as a taxpayer, maybe you shouldn't have been sitting pretty at that job. Sorry.
Well, they
sucks
if they
for
were,
you, but that's just sorry.
They
Life's
will make
unfair.
Believe they were make believe jobs, and it proved it, because what were they doing at home?
Well, were they doing at home? Because if I remember.
Yeah. But who was checking
2 weeks
in?
To work from
who
home
was looking at whether or not they were doing their jobs, or whether or not their data was secured, whether they were whatever. And they just refused to come back to work. And the unions, and now you have Trump, who just today said he voided all the collective bargaining agreements with the federal government. Now, that's a big thing. Now, I'm a union guy. But if you read the laws, the federal laws, the government they can negate, they can dismiss any contract held for any reason, including convenience. So, the collective bargaining agreements might have things in there that you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. But right at the beginning of those contracts where the media fails to tell you about, says this contract will apply to all laws of the government.
It supersedes.
It says it right in the contract. So when you have the government come in there, and really, I think it was done during World War II, when either when the coal miners went on strike and they forced them back, or the railroad workers. I'd have to look that up, but I know that this has been done before. This is not new and isn't precedent setting. And that's why the law states the government can do it, because they knew that it might have had to have been done, and they have the laws to stand behind them. I'm not happy about that. And you'll have unions screaming, mostly the federal workers, of course, and state workers under the same, they all have the same little clause in there, going, it happened to us, it's going to happen to them, and then it's going to happen to you in the private sector. Now, will that happen? I say no. Could it happen? Sure, it could happen.
Anything can happen. Yes.
Yeah, sure. I do have a crystal ball here, and it's pretty good here, but I don't see that happening. I see that more of a. This is the government. This is the government acting.
Yes.
And remember, you're dealing with an administration that is very. This is mine and this is yours. This is the federals and this is the state. And he likes that big separation. So I think federal workers, yeah, you're in for a bumpy ride. You're in for a bumpy ride. And again, I feel for a lot of these people, through no fault of their own, no fault of their own, they find themselves in this position, and the fault lies with the people who hired them under false pretense. We're going to make believe jobs here for you. We're going to create a job for you.
So you have sympathy. I don't.
That person over here was doing 10 pages a day. Now that person only has to do 3 because I hired 4 people. And oh yes, I made her life simpler. And maybe she could become more proficient in what she does. I don't know what your logic was behind it. I'm sure it was some type of logic, but it wasn't necessary. It's just like when Biden gave, I don't know, $100 billion to the IRS, and 10,000 new workers to go after the 1%. There's not 10,000 1%ers out there. I mean, anyone, and the media refused to jump in there and go, what are you doing? Because I can tell you, those 10,000 new agents were out to beat the bush on every legitimate business, every bank account, every dollar you make.
That was scary at one point. Remember what they wanted to do with your banking information. Don't forget what that administration wanted to do.
Well, I'm going to just say this. Being in the banking business, which I was in my many multiple hat career, we used to report everything to the government. Everything got every one of your transactions, whether it was $1 or $1 million, that was reported every month. to the government.
But it wasn't under what they wanted to do was make it a microscope for
Well,
a certain
but see,
number, and that's my money. I earn that money. You don't have the right to sit there for the money I earned that I have to fill out forms. Whether you're a contractor and you do a 1099, whether you work and you actually get a W-2. I do. I have to show the government everything.
Yes,
the mere fact that you wanted to come in behind the back door and see what I was actually depositing and withdrawing from my account.
It was under the guise.
What an invasion.
No, it was under the guise of looking for illicit money. It was OFAC. It was
how funny.
Yeah.
Illicit money yet.
But there was
administration and the money that they spent.
Well, no one ever looked at them. No,
but
don't
you're
look
worried
at
about
me.
the little guy.
Well,
the little guy.
Because it's the little guy
trying to survive.
It's the little guy that pays the bill. It's the little guy that always pays the bill. And you have these like the 1%ers aren't paying their fair share. Whoa. You made those laws. The 1%ers didn't make the law.
You let all the illegal immigrants in there. We're paying their share. No,
the Congress made all those little loopholes. So when these guys aren't doing anything wrong, just like Trump only paid $6,000 in federal taxes or whatever.
Trump wasn't taking a paycheck as being the president.
But
for the 4 years
I'm
that
not.
he was, and now he's current.
All I'm saying is that they're using the tools that were provided them by the Congresses. End of story.
But it wasn't. We had no leg to stand on. They were actually really going to crack down and actually start going after the little guys.
They are going after the little guy. They're going after everyone. What do you think the part of COVID of not using cash, you can only use credit.
Yeah.
You can only use a debit card. That was to see where money was. How were you taking, if you're not working, if you're not getting, if you're not doing, how are you putting in $500 a week into your bank account? Show us where this money came from.
Well, first off,
and
don't put that stuff in your account.
But there was no other way for you. People weren't taking cash.
No, I meant if you were getting cash.
Yeah,
first off,
but a lot of people still get cash.
Don't put it in the bank.
The whole idea of bringing Elon Musk into the mix is because he has the people behind him to go through all the data that's being collected. The problem is the government's collecting all this data. They don't know what to do with it, but it's all sitting there. And what's going to happen is you're going to have an Elon Musk come in there. And if it wasn't Elon Musk, it would be IBM. If it wasn't IBM, it would be Microsoft. It would be Oracle.
Right.
It would be someone who can take that.
They would be smashing IBM computers.
Right.
They'd be smashing. Yeah. Don't worry. It doesn't matter who did it. You're absolutely right.
But it would be whoever taking this data and now taking it and connecting it all. Because that's really what like a spreadsheet does, is it takes what was irrelevant data and then makes sense of it, and you put it into an order.
You get to watch the insight, the trends. You get to see what certain patterns.
Well, not only that, if I'm collecting $25,000 a year in Social Security, and $8,000 a year in a pension, and $3,000 a year from an investment, I should have only X amount of dollars going into my account. Now, if all of a sudden, $6,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 or $200 start showing up, they might turn around and go, or they could. They have the right to do that. To go, where'd you get that extra money from? And you could say, I sold a car or something.
Why?
You have to show
Why
it.
do they have the right?
Because
I'm not understanding why you have the right.
The
what do you
IRS,
care about what I do on the side?
Because the IRS...
The money already got cleared.
No. It got cleared. You have to... Unfortunately, when it comes to the IRS, you are guilty until you're proven innocent. You have... There is no acceptability of... or implied that you're innocent. You must prove your innocence. So, if I had, let's say, $15,000 more going into my account in a year, then anything that I could justifiably say, the IRS has a right to look at it and go, what up? They could call you in, and under the law, they can do that.
Once again, don't put your extra
But
cash in the bank.
yes,
ever.
but okay, yes, but that will very soon, in your lifetime, you will see cash go away.
Absolutely. I mean,
And then where do you?
you're cashless cities now.
Yes, but now, how do you make a transaction? How do you sell something under the table?
Well, I want to know how you can just eliminate cash altogether.
Very easily.
Like
We don't accept cash.
So what do you do with all that circulation of money? That's what
You
I'm trying
weed
to say.
it out.
So it's something how?
No,
can't.
you take.
No, what you're creating is called the underground.
No,
And you
there-
can create
it can't
a world.
You can't. That money serves no purpose. You
No,
can't
it
take
might
it
not serve
underground.
purpose for. That's where. It's
No,
like,
there is
It's
no.
like a Mad Max world.
No, there is. You take currency away. That's it. You can't. It doesn't mean anything. I can have $100,000 and you can buy a loaf of bread because it has no value. But if I had that $100,000 in a bank account and I go swipe my card for it,
That's
the bank knows I had that $100,000 in there. I've accounted for that $100,000. I have paid my taxes on that $100,000. Buy all the bread you want. Go ahead.
I don't believe that should just be taken away.
It
That should
isn't
be
taken away. That is being done.
cashless. Cash. If no longer having cash, no more having cents, and no more having dollar bills, any bill,
It
not dollar
is-
bills, any bill.
it is
how
going
is that
away.
going to be? No,
It is going away.
I think that's wrong, and I think that should not be allowed.
Again,
That should not be allowed. Currency is currency. You can't just take that away.
you're not taking it away. You take the money and it has to be accounted for. There will be 30 days for you to take any cash you have
Again,
under your
overreach
pillow.
of my government. Overreach of my government. That money is accounted
But
for
that
because you
has-
know why? You process it.
No.
You printed it and it's circulated through.
So you know that this is, again, nothing new. The government did this in the past.
Yes.
You had to turn in
Yes,
your
during
money.
World War One.
No,
Right? Didn't you have to hand it? Didn't they have to give them all gold and
that was in the 30s. But that you had to give in gold certificates. You
Right,
had
you
to
had
give
to-
in. The country has done it. The precedent is there.
I don't think it was right, but I get it. Whatever. It was done.
The idea of cryptocurrency that governments are accepting is exactly to take the dollars away so they know where every dollar, where every penny, where every asset is. Now, the problem that with doing
Oh, it makes me so mad.
but okay, and here's the problem, and this is where I say, in my conspirator mind,
Yeah, I'm one.
is that if you were to do that, if you were to say, hey, everything's on a swipe card, and the government turns around and goes, I didn't get a harumph out of you. You're talking crap about me. Denied. And now you can't buy anything, you can't do anything, you can't eat.
Yeah. It's a bigger,
is-
problem than just taking it away and
I
everyone's going to be
understand. It isn't-
cashless on a card.
Now, the people who are living in that world today, in a cashless world, in theory, who are those people? In our country, it's the people that are getting government hands out, that get it on a little card, and you just zip it through.
Yeah.
They don't deal with cash. So the idea of a cashless system is already in place. You get your funds through it. It gets credited to your card. Enjoy. The idea is there. The people that fight this. Or people like myself who says the government can have too much power.
Yes, it's such an overreach.
Yeah, it's not an
especially when I don't get full transparency. We're trying to figure out what's going on with Doge, and you're getting all these people who are like, "How dare you look at what's going on?" But you want to look at my information.
No.
You want to know what's going on in my bank account. I can't even freaking figure out what money my government's spending as a taxpayer on nonsense and crap. And I was like, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that."
The reason the government
insane. It's just insane.
The reason the government can look at your bank account.
Fired up.
No, the reason they can look at it is because they insure it, and if you insure it,
now you only insure it up to a certain number. So let's be real.
Well, how many people do you have more than $250,000 in each one of your camp?
Maybe I do. But they only insure it to a certain number. So
I just want to take this time to tell the IRS I have no idea of this. Cognito is with a C.
Breathe into this rag. Taking you out, old man.
I have no idea who she is. She just appeared here.
Rats get bats. Remember that.
I'm blinking. Call the cops. But the idea is that the banks they're going to. The banks will fight this tooth and nail.
Yeah.
Okay, but only because of a self-interest of money laundering in doing things and not having certain things exposed. It is already there. The idea of a cashless system was instilled into all of us when the advent of a checking account. I did not have to carry large sums of money with me. I could just write a check. You have a problem with that? Because that's cashless system. I think not.
It was a degree of cashless.
No.
You still were able to keep your money.
But
I'm talking. I get to hold it. I get to smell it. I'm still holding my money.
Listen, Scrooge McDuck. Let me.
My pile, I smell it every day.
Out of my money vault.
Money is.
But the idea.
It was still there.
The idea of having your money, as I get that, I totally get the idea. The reality is that the people that fight it the most really are the conspirators like me,
mm-hmm.
and mom and pop businesses and people that sell stuff online at flea market. You won't be able to go to a flea market and buy something. So
that actually, I'm glad you actually, we are talking about this, because I had a thought that, so think about that. It goes cashless. So right now in the world we're in, it's totally not cashless. You can use your card. So if I go and use my debit card, or if I use my credit card at a local restaurant, let's say, that service fee that at one point in time that establishment covered that cost of using a card. So you weren't, you never really, you just used your card. You didn't think much about it if you didn't have cash. But now, we're moving into this cashless world. I am being charged a servicing fee to use what you wanted to be as cashless. I'm paying now a fee to not carry cash, but now I'm paying even more money. But I want to know if you want to move to that direction. Yes, that needs to be removed.
Yes,
and no one should be charging anyone for using a fee.
They won't
for using a card and then being using a card and then being charged a fee for it.
There won't be. That will be part of the. That will be part.
Why am I paying it now?
Because the difference is, you have the opportunity to pay in cash and you choose not to, but there's a processing fee to go through a third party to take that money. They handle it.
There always was. I don't know. During COVID, I noticed that all really changed.
No, that was going on way before COVID. With gas station would say
that's
cash
gas.
pricing.
I'm talking when you would go to your local bar, you would go to your local restaurants or any chain restaurant. You weren't. That fee wasn't passed along to you.
But what happens? It became palatable. You got
No, I'm blaming COVID because no one wanted to touch cash. Remember, places all said, "Oh, we're not touching cash because it gets germs and it carries diseases."
But the idea,
BS anyway.
The idea in a lot of states, the places had to take cash. I had that argument with a person at
They tried
Walmart.
that. They tried that.
Yes, but when Walmart, and I said, if you don't take the cash, I walk out the door with this. You refuse to take the money for it. This says for all legal tender, all legal
Well, I guess none of that applied
they ended up having to take the cash. They called the manager, and you spray. I don't care what the hell you spray it with, but I don't have a credit card.
Which
I
is
don't
the
have a debit
stupidest thing
card.
anyway. They're all wearing freaking rubber gloves and masks. What were you worried about? Prior to that, you didn't care, man. You didn't care that piss and urine and fecal matter on your bills.
We were told, if you go and look at Google, we were told that the money all is made to be germ free, just like the remote controls in the hotel rooms. So
Sure.
Yeah, really. Is this supposed to stick to my hand?
You're right. Keep feeding us bullshit.
Well, that's the whole idea. I mean, Fauci.
Hey, some people believe it, man. They'll swallow that pill and be like, "Oh yes,
because
what you say is
it's
right."
easier to believe in that than to dispute it.
Germs are everywhere. You can't be that. I mean, well, you know what? Yes, you can be that dumb. Let me take that back. But I mean, come on now.
It's again, you want to believe your government is not out to screw you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't trust my government. Period.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Sorry.
even with Trump there, I don't trust the government.
No, I don't.
I don't trust.
I never trusted the government.
But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, we expect the government to be there to honor.
Yeah, because
their commitment. FEMA. To take care of us during a crisis, which they did not
fail.
I mean, they took care of
Trump sign. Unless you had a Trump sign on your lawn, remember you weren't taken care of.
Oh, but yeah, really. Well, that's. I mean, but again, and that's been proven.
Yeah, I know.
And that just wasn't. That just wasn't
me blowing smoke, hot air out there in the world. That's true. That's legit fact.
Right. Those are
factual
facts.
information that if you had any,
it didn't happen just in one case. It happened in multiple cases. So we know that is the truth. We know that the government can control people. Now, the same could be said the other way with Trump. If you don't follow his new rules, he'll punish you by taking grants and stuff away from you. So that's a two-edged sword. I said in this program, I will call out both sides. It is just taking it.
But they can be. They can be taken away from you. Like it. So.
Well, hold it.
Remember,
number one.
Like that's that's.
You have no guarantee of that money.
That's what I'm saying. Right, so at any given time that can be
you are
stripped
protected
from
under
you.
the Constitution against discrimination and all that stuff. That's already there. You don't need super laws for super people. Now you have a class system, or like in India, a caste system. You people can only go here. You people can only go there. You people can only go here. These people can go everywhere. So this is what they were creating here and what they were trying to do, because they wanted to take each individual and then I can deal them accordingly. Where if I have to deal everyone equally, I might not pick up all those people. But if I broke them down into little class of people and go, I give you this and I give you that and everyone, yay, because I got a piece of the pie that you should never have gotten. It should have gone to everyone. You didn't have to do that. But by doing that, they then go, see, the other guy won't do that for you. I did that for you. But if I'm not here to do it for you and keep it going, can't tell you what's going to happen to you. And that is what the Democrats are going. But see, the Democrats want to cry that. But it's the same type of logic that will doom them, because it's like a child who kills their mother and father and then pleads in front of the judge, have mercy on me because I'm an orphan. Well, you killed your parents.
Right.
You know, but this is the same type of logic that's going to bite them in the ass. And people are just going to say, you created that situation. You created it. Yes, it's terrible, but you created it. It should never have been there. So the Democrats must, if they want to survive this, and I'm not talking about the 4 years. I'm talking
No, well after that.
Yeah,
Gosh,
I mean,
your party, you know.
if you want to survive this, you got to swallow your pride
Yep.
and do what Schumer did, and go, I will work with the administration. Schumer, as much as I hate Schumer, and I know hate is a powerful word, but he realized, I have to work with this. Because if I don't, everything becomes unwound. And I can't get the toothpaste back into the tube. Once it's spread out, I can't get it. I can't put it back in. And he realized that. Your Pelosi's don't give a hoot because she's 80-something years old and she's more worried, is her new hip going to work? And Waters is so crooked.
Oh, God.
That, you know...
she's still...
You know...
That could be a whole other topic of conversation.
And Warren is so out of touch. And some of these people are just so out of touch with reality of what's really going on in the country. You know, and I you know, AOC and Sanders, we know what they are. They're scorpions. So handle them with care. But do not expect them to come to your aid or not to bite you. And these are, and the squad. Let me tell you, I can't wait.
The squad.
The squad. I mean, you know, they need to go too. And you need people in there. You need common sense. And that's what I say with Trump. Love him, hate him. It's common sense logic. And you don't have to always agree.
But we're not living in, I swear, you're not living in common sense logic anymore.
Well, because it's been so...
want to live in
right,
their
it's been
fantasy worlds and a reality that is far from existing
You know.
in where you currently live. Like, this isn't a game. Your
Well,
life isn't a game.
you had during Obama's campaign, and his big thing, he goes, sometimes you got to shake things up. You got to shape it. Why? Why? Why do you have to? What are you doing?
Shaking up.
And it's not shaking it up. What you're doing is reshaping because it didn't conform to what you wanted. So you got to watch out with people like that.
Well put. Well put.
I'm always.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
got going on.
Yeah. Why more people don't listen to me, including my wife.
This is ridiculous.
Including my wife. Hey, moron. You're a very stupid man.
I got you this far, so.
Can't
be that bad.
Yeah. No, Mom takes all the credit. She takes all the credit for me. You'd be
lost.
You'd be on the couch with Bob Barada.
Bob.
Hey, Bob, fix my daughter's faucet. My granddaughter's faucet. But no, Bob. And I did wish you a happy birthday, Bob, the other day.
Oh, happy belated birthday, Bob.
Yes, he turned the big 7-0.
Ooh, 29 forever.
And we called each other from bars when we were totally wasted and laughing. Oh yeah.
The only way to do it.
Yeah. So, and like I said to people, Bob is an uber liberal, and I'm an uber liberal. But there's a liberal who talks it and walks it, and you got to respect that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, still think something major happened to your brain, but whatever.
Kudos to you, Bob.
You should
stay the course. Stay the course.
You should be like me, Bob. We'll step over their decrepit bodies and get to the top. That's what I told Mike at CBS.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm clawing my way to the top.
Yeah. Hey, stop smoke. Stop.
Foot in the face. Yeah, I'm climbing.
Yeah. Stop smoking that stuff. Stop doing this. Because we'll climb on their dead, decrepit bodies right to the top. And he tells me that all the time. He goes, "Oh, I remember that speech you gave." Because the only thing missing was an armband.
Oh, God.
I couldn't get one to fit my fat arm.
Well, they call us that,
Oh.
the big,
Nazi.
Nah.
NOTSEE. I'm called that.
They call
Nazi.
us Yahtzees.
Yeah.
But, meanwhile, you're the one out defacing property.
Well.
And you're out burning stuff. And you're out doing bad things and causing chaos out there. Yeah. Gestapo much? I don't know. That the word ring a bell.
Yeah, really.
Ding, ding.
I fight with the people all the time online. I go, "You just called me a Russian. You just called me a Russian bot. And then you called me a Nazi." I go, I'm kind of confused. I have an identity crisis. Which one am I?
Please.
And they go, yeah.
They go by their daily, words of,
oh my
encouragement on their, whether it's Facebook, whether it's, TikTok or Instagram.
Very limited vocabulary.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's the word of the day for them. That's kind of what I'm guessing at. That's all they got is words, and nothing but hot air coming out. That's all I hear. That's all I see. Hot air.
I don't hear any answers.
They don't need answers. They don't need to.
No, they always.
They know that if they act a certain
always
way.
answer you with a question. You threw something out there, and they come back and they throw another question at you, and they go, "No. First answer what I posted," and they don't. They just want, And I go, it's all contradiction.
Sheep. They're sheep.
And there's very few times when I've told people online, "Oh, you know what? You made an actual point. Good for you."
Did you throw confetti?
Oh yeah. Oh no, I have a little emoji.
You answered a question. Yay!
Of a champagne bottle cork going.
Really?
And then they all get mad.
You drop a sign. Ding ding ding. You answered the question.
And then when they come back with stupid stuff, and then what about this? And I think this is it, And then I have a meme that it shows Jan Brady, the oldest Brady, whatever. Going. Marsha going. Sure, Jan. Sure.
Jan.
Sure, Jan. Sure. And they get all mad. So I'm like, They go, "Where do you find this stuff?" I'm basically a very lonely person.
Yeah, whatever. It's funny. You know what? If it's funny and it's humorous, I'm gonna laugh all the way.
Yeah, and
sorry.
And yes,
even at someone's expense.
I do make horrible comments online. I do, because there's some things that just
I can dish it out and I can take it too. So
I mean, there's other things I don't make fun of. That's not true. I make fun of everything.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah,
nothing's off limits.
There's nothing. Yeah, really.
Nothing's
off limits. Unless it's happening to me. If it's happening to me, it's a tragedy. Everyone, come to my aid. If it's not,
it's true. Kick them while they're down.
Oh, my poor dad. My brother Donald and I and my parents took us. We were in Houston for the opening of the original Astrodome. We were there for game number 1. We had to walk through a parking lot of mud. Our hotel was like a half mile across the street, and I think it was called either the White House Inn or something like that. And we had to go across the street. My mother and my father took us to see a baseball game inside a dome.
That must have been cool.
It was. We had a good time. Well, this guy was selling beer, and that was all bottled beer. And he's coming down.
The whole thing where it was like strapped around his neck.
And he's walking down, and he falls down the steps.
Oh, Lord.
Right? And I mean, he went from the top, bang, 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 bang. And my brother Donald and I just burst out laughing. And
I'm not gonna lie. I would have gained my composure and been like, man, are you all right? But I would have done the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Yeah, I would have done that.
And I think, I don't know if it was Donald or I, we said, are the beers okay? You know? Now, if we were 8, 9 years old.
Did you save the beers?
Yeah, and this guy's like crumpled down there, you know, obviously hurt. You know?
Totally.
But I remember, look, the beer's okay? Oh, the beer's okay?
Punch you?
Oh, my father wanted this. He was like, that man might be hurt. And then we started laughing.
I'm not gonna lie, I still do it if I see someone slip and fall. I'm like, my inner demon comes out and I'm like, all right, now go ask for help. My angel comes to my aid and is like, get away, go help him.
Oh, and my father, you know, he would look at my mother and go, there's something wrong with those boys. There's something, and my mom would I had them tested. I had them tested at Adelphi and then at Hofstra University.
I'm sure we're all teetering on that line of, you know, on the spectrum.
I just, probably after they talked to us, they were like, yeah, tell them they're okay and get them the hell out of here before they murder us.
Well, I remember in elementary school, they used to I used to have to go for sessions and they would pull me out of bleep that out. Alice. They're like, look at this picture. What do you see? You know, and it was all psychologists, you know, and you were being tested on that weird stuff. But you know, I was like, what are you testing me? I know I'm crazy. Nothing ever came back that I was, you know.
I see me strangling you. You know?
And my mom, I don't know.
Yeah, really, what the hell is that?
I was like, looks like you took black tar and went like this and opened it back up, and I'm like, I don't know.
Bird shit.
So I was like, I have nothing for that.
Yeah, really. I was like, I don't know what. It's like you're trying to trick me, and I don't want to be tricked. You know, but
I digress.
Yes, and I do make fun of people. At work, I said, you did not want to be the last one at work because you had to walk through the gauntlet of about 12 of people that were even meaner than me. And, you know.
Horrible. Just horrible.
We were horrible. I mean, I look back at my friends at the table in the cafeteria in school, and we were horrible. If you wore something different.
You guys were bullies.
Total
bullies.
Horrible. And
hated bullies.
Yeah, we were. I don't know. We didn't see it as bullying. We were just trying to correct you, so you didn't stand out. We were doing you a favor.
I'm surprised no one ever stood up to you guys.
Oh, we'd get punched all the time.
Okay.
It didn't help.
As long as you got punched, okay.
Yeah, it didn't help.
All right.
I go, you can punch me, but believe me, when you walk through there, I'm gonna make fun of your pointy boots, and you know, we used to call them.
These are grown ass men that you're making fun of, right?
Well, we did, yeah. I actually said I forget what it was to this guy, and he cried, and my boss came out and said, you made him cry. Do you feel good about yourself? And I go, well, kind of, yeah. And he just looked, he goes, and he goes, well, why did you make him? And I go, he was just being the dope that he is, and we couldn't take it anymore. Yeah.
Poor guy. So they're sensitive people. That's what I've noticed. In my working career,
he ended up holding the New York State Police at gunpoint for 3 days. This guy.
You know why that happened? It's because you triggered him. You made him cry, and then that was it. You sent him.
I don't think so. I think he was always there, and he.
Well, if he was always there, I would think that he would have literally squared up and hit you in the face right then and there for making him cry.
No,
I don't even think he would have cried. I would have think he would have just attacked him.
Back in those days, you weren't hitting me. You weren't doing that. No, when I was a kid, you'd say something, all right, that guy's a little
I don't
tougher
know.
than you, but
I don't know.
as an adult,
It's not the size. It's the fight. It's the fight in you.
yeah, you don't. They knew better. They knew better, and he knew better. And
Until he went out and did that. When he was triggered, you totally
yeah,
triggered.
we were hysterical. We're like, oh my god, he's actually shooting out the window. I'm surprised he even made the effort. The lazy F. He never did anything.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But I didn't like bullies. I still don't like bullies. I don't do bullies.
Oh, they're my heroes. I always liked Pluto on Popeye.
I will stand up for those who don't want to stand up for themselves.
Who, during a copyright infringement, they changed the name to Brutus.
Yes, Brutus. Yeah.
But his real name was Bluto. Mm-hmm. We never accepted Brutus.
Still. All right, let it go. Let it go.
Can't.
Jeez. All right, we literally went off on a whole tangent of something else.
Yes,
Let's
but
reel it back in.
Trump is actually doing what we voted for him to do. And yeah, is there going to be some stumbles? Is he going to fall? Is he going to make mistakes? Is stuff going to happen? Yep.
I expect nothing less.
The
It's a
only
hurdle.
way.
It's a hurdle.
And this whole thing with the text messages going out to
on Signal?
it's that.
Well,
You know what?
that's just.
You know what? Stuff happens. Stuff happens, and
They're just
yeah.
looking for a good
And
story. Let's
if
be
you
real.
really want to know a good national security situation, Google President Clinton lost his code book and didn't report it missing for 4 months or 3
Right.
months
That's right.
of the nuclear football.
Oh my gosh, yes. Ooh, good one. Good one.
Yeah, don't.
Come on, people, run with that.
Yeah.
Run with that.
Yeah, and this is not the same as Hillary's emails, which I said the Hillary email things didn't bother me that much, that she was using a server that she had asked about. Could I use that, and got the thumbs up? So I don't blame her for that. What I do blame Hillary and her crew was with destroying all the evidence that was with it and wiping stuff clean when they were told you
can
can't
use
do
it.
it. No,
Well,
you can't do that.
Right.
You got to keep everything
But
and
I mean, you
preserve
were
it.
told to use it. So why were you trying to erase or delete
Yeah.
things?
So
Like,
I had the
that's
problem of afterwards.
sketchy right
yeah.
there.
And where she goes, "Oh, I don't know what happened to him." Really? Okay. All right. Now I have a problem. I mean, this guy putting. I want to know how or why he had a contact to the.
It was they use Signal uses.
I know.
Yes.
I know what they
name
do.
Abbreviation.
But, yes,
So
but
initials, not abbreviation.
this was careless. This was very careless. And again, I think any of these top people should be carrying made by the United States devices that only speak to those devices and no one else, and no one can break into them.
So-
It's not an iPhone. It's nothing. It's the Washington phone. And,
It's the person who put that out. So
Yes.
Right. So that person, unfortunately,
yes.
they probably should lose their job or lose that job holding that position that they're in,
All
and
right.
maybe be demoted or whatnot. But
Accidents
absolutely.
happen.
But you know what?
And this is a lesson. There's a lesson to be learned here.
This is a big.
And
big
it wasn't as bad as people were putting
No.
out. There was nothing horrible.
Correct. However, that's a problem.
Yes,
you know?
and so you address it. You address the problem. It is now there, and the problem is they should not be using any of those devices or any of those apps unless they're approved by the CIA and FBI and NSA.
Well, a judge is going to uphold that. So, like, that's a very secure means of communication. That isn't, yeah.
Anything,
just so you know,
anything that
is
an
a
outside
heavily
yes,
used.
yes, but
means of communication.
anyone in the private sector that creates these programs.
But that's nothing new. They've been using that for a very long time.
No. But anyone that creates these type programs, there's always a back door. There's always another way. Nothing is secure. And that's why a lot of these, your eyes only. You can't do anything. In this world of communications, we really have to take a step back and go, we have to secure that communications. And if that means that the United States government develops their own little handheld device with their own chat thing that only goes through a protected network. But again, anytime you put something on a wire and send it somewhere else, who knows? Who knows? Now, the, who was this? Was it Josh Holloway? Is that, well, whoever the editor was for The Atlantic.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He should have ethically, and it was no fault of his. He got it, had no idea. What is this? You know, no, he had no idea. But the fact is, he could have done two things. He could have immediately said, hey, guys, I don't think I should be on this. You know who you're talking to right now?
There's a code of conduct there that he should have preserved and he didn't. I'm sorry.
No, that was called ethics. Yeah. He had no ethics. Now, he could have turned around and go, oh, this is gold. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it. And now I'm going to go to these people and go, hey, the strikes all happened. Everything happened. You sent it to me.
That's blackmail.
And
that's blackmail. And
no. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying blackmail. Now that this is all done, I'm going to show the lack of security you people showed, that you allowed someone like me to get. Who else was getting this? But after the fact. After the fact. Not, hey, 5 minutes later it's up on the internet. I would have done it after the fact and go, the strikes happened. No one was going to be imperiled by this. You know, all the planes returned. There was no troops there. Now I'm going to show the world how careless this administration is or whatever. And you could do that. You could have done that. That could have been the way to do it. But he chose not to. He was very unethical. Extremely unethical. The first thing he could have done is gone, boom, hey, I shouldn't be on this, guys, you know, and
because they want the juice. They want to be able to run and be like, look,
but you could have
look what hedge. Look at this.
You could have run with it after the fact and would have looked not like a skunk, but like someone who's truly concerned that, hey, you know, who's watching the hen house here? So he could have done that, but he elected not to. He went the other way. He went the unethical way. And he could have did it the ethical way and going, I waited till the next day. This was over. All the planes got back. No one was hurt. Blah, blah, blah. Our troops all came back. Hooray. Look, I was sent all this information as it was happening. He would have been a hero. He would have been a hero. But now he looks like a traitor.
You got a mark on you.
Well, it was very unethical. But as far as this being an aha moment for the Democrats, I have you 15 minutes because that's all it's.
Sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
Like we've been saying.
Yeah. Enough. Just stop.
Can't wait to get to the 100th day.
Yeah.
Sit down and shut up.
Yeah, really. I just want the information. I want Trump to come out and go, I got these 58,000 pages here. And look whose name's on it. I'm just going to read a couple of them. And these are people who hate me. Hate me. For what? What did I do to them? You know?
I love it, though.
Yeah, you know?
I love it.
Yeah. And you know, these are people, they weren't out. They were out to get me. But look what they did to you.
Yeah.
You.
I want it.
Yeah.
Expose what you did
Yes.
to me, because you know what? Unfortunately, I wasn't
Don't
privy.
bang your fingers.
I'm
You
sorry, I
going
keep
to-
doing that. It's angry. It's angry. Angry Alice is coming out.
Really? Don't. I'm taking all the pencils away. Anything sharp. My little African
You're
bloke dog
right.
up here.
If they can keep you,
Yes.
out of it, and you don't know, and you're not privy to all this information.
I want him-
expose I pull their names out, expose them all. You want to know why? I want to know what you've been doing with my money and who's been playing with my money.
Well,
and because now I want you to
think that
pay
will
for
come.
what you did.
Well,
you're gonna pay. I want you to pay.
Okay.
You lose your jobs, whatever. You know why? I don't feel bad, because you did it to us. Again, just the average Joe, the little guys. We lost our jobs if we didn't get the death jab. And you told us we all would. So I don't care. Like, going back, I don't care. I don't have any bit of empathy for these federal workers who are going to lose their job. Oh, you didn't care when we who actually do care about our bodies, and we didn't want to put things into our bodies because, my body, my right. Yeah, let's toot that one. But when it came down to, I don't trust what, big farms putting in these quickly turned around vaccinations that the whole world got vaccinated in a matter of months. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't believe any of that. So chose not to do that. People lost their job. They lost their shirts. They lost their livelihood. They lost their businesses.
People were arrested.
Exactly. Don't feel bad for these federal workers or anything under
But
that.
it wasn't
that are
the federal
crying about
workers.
it. I
It
don't
wasn't
care.
the federal workers that were doing it. It was the government. The federal workers are just
Don't
there.
care. Don't care. No, you're not. No.
Well,
No, because you know what? I'm pretty sure if you went on any one of their Facebook accounts or Instagrams, I got the jab.
well, but they can if you
that
want to
little
go for it.
thumbs up and a little, needle. I got the death jab. Good for you.
Really? Well, I said, again.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Listen, I feel for the people that were given jobs under false pretenses.
No.
They weren't qualified for it, yet they were told, oh, you can do it. Yeah. We'll show you. And these were almost like no-show jobs. They didn't have to do anything. The more DEI someone was, the higher promotion they got. Not their skills.
Don't even get me started on that one.
Yeah. So
I know firsthand.
Yes.
Firsthand, we witnessed a lot of stuff, DEI nonsense that occurred. Pushed a lot of people out.
Yeah.
Pushed a lot of skill, experience out the door just based on your color or your gender.
Women should be the ones who are spray painting and burning stuff because they lost their rights in.
Listen, I have no problem going back to the kitchen and you're gonna make babies, raise babies, cook meals, go food shopping, clean houses. I want to go back to that. I'm tired of this. I don't want to equal rights of a man.
No. What? But here was DEI was in men being in women's sports and classifying
Should
themselves
never have
as
happened,
women.
period. I'm sorry. That was just
and to have people go,
horrible thing.
Isn't that wonderful?
No. Once again, here's the thing. I never understood that because a real feminist, a real femme, you should have been hell bent.
Yeah, absolutely not happening.
Because you know why? No, it's just another reason why men wiggle their way in and ruin everything for women. That's what a feminist should have said.
How dare you?
Right, a feminist should have said that. Just another reason to push the woman down so that a man can trump her.
Yeah. How dare you say that when you work one day every 3 months?
Yeah, I wish I had that 1950s mentality. I'd be home. Get the house tight.
It bothers me, when they go, so Mary, tell us how you want it. Well,
it started out like this. Yeah.
Well, Scott, I'll tell you.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole bathroom situation is not cool because I have a niece and I will tell you this much. No way. I'll go eye to eye, toe to toe. If there's no way. If I feel uncomfortable as a grown ass woman, I could only imagine how uncomfortable a child would feel watching
yeah.
that. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
Everyone acts like these children who are going, they're children. They're not grown adults.
Yeah.
We can deal with a certain level of, awkwardness, little, but you somewhat can protect yourself. A child can't protect themselves. And I don't care what you say. No man should be in a woman's bathroom. No.
Yes, it just...
No. And just like no woman
should be in a man's bathroom.
It's vice versa. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
And just because you play dress up, Barbie was fun too, man. Barbie was great. Everyone loved Barbie growing up. Okay, so you made it a reality in your everyday world.
I was a Midge fan.
But you made it a reality in your world. That's great. Playing dress up is great. That's about all it is. That's about all it is. And again, you were given a name. You were born with a name. Mom, dad, maybe you didn't have a mom or a dad. Whoever named you, you were given a birth name.
All right, I'm going to give you a trivia question. What was Barbie's last name?
Oh, God. That is trivia. Barbie.
Roberts. What was Ken's last name?
Don't know.
I gotta reach. I'm digging in there. I know it. I know.
You do trivia and not know the freaking
No.
answer.
I want to say Carson or something like
How?
that.
Like, I mean, unfortunately, all we had on the boxes from Mattel back in the day was like Ken and Barbie. But anyway, I'm not digressing from that. That's a pain point of mine. You want to do you all day long. Don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not following your pronouns or any of that because you want to know why?
I'm not indulging your
Give
fantasy.
me your name. Tell me your name.
I'm not.
You were given a name.
I'm not indulging your fantasy. It's that simple. I'm not indulging it.
Just tell me your name. I'll call you by your name because you know what? That's the respectful thing to do. The unrespectful thing to do is sit there and tell me I need to call you this, that, or that. No. You tell me your name, that's a respectful thing. That's how you act in society. That's called respect. Tell me your name. You introduce yourself, my name's this, great. Now I'm going to call you by your first name. I don't care if it's your second name given or what. I don't really care. Give me your name. That's all I need to know in this life. I don't need to know anything else about you. Just give me your name. That's all. Why can't you do that? Why do you got to make it more complicated than it needs to be? I don't care what your sexual preference is. Don't care.
Just call me fat bastard.
Yeah, really. Just call me angry
I'm
Alice.
fat bastard.
Great, excellent. We've established this respect. Let's continue on.
The whole DEI thing was ridiculous, and it was just another way because the Supreme Court ruled against affirmative action, so they just renamed affirmative action DEI, and they rolled with it.
Let me tell you, that's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Yeah. And I'm glad it's starting to kind of fizzle out a little.
Oh, it's going to die hard.
But,
that's going to be a hard death
Yeah.
because it's so entrenched, and it's going to be hard for companies to untangle it. And that's the whole thing about the Democrats, is that they were clever to plant all their judges, and now these ones just go against anything that Trump does. And there are some things where I said it is a legal challenge. It's absolutely a legal challenge. And there's others where they're just wasting time. They're just trying to stall.
Sounds about right.
They're doing things. And now the courts just approved today that Trump can fire some of these people from the National Labor Relations Board. He has the right to fire them, and they're gone. And they've already cried to the courts, and the courts go, nothing we can do for you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. And this is, it will take time, and Trump will do it, and it will happen. And yes, like I said, if I was a Democrat, and I would sit down with the president, hat in hand, because that's the way you have to now come to him, hat in hand, and go, listen, we can all recognize there's waste in government. It's what government does. You want to remove 30,000 people from this administration. Do it through buyouts. Do it through retirement. And then your last step will be, laying off people. But if after all that you feel that you have to do it, let's start with 15,000 and see how that affects things. If after 120 days things are going along smoothly and you want to take another 5,000, that's fine. And then when you do that 5,000, maybe if there's hiccups and there's problems, you can call some of them back and come back to work. And in the end, instead of them losing 30,000 jobs, they only lost 22,000 jobs, and the Democrats saved 8,000 of them. And they could always go, hey, the president wanted to do this. We stepped in. We did this. We saved 8,000 jobs.
But were they needed to be saved? See, that's the thing.
No, you could, but you don't.
Are some of these jobs
in businesses,
aren't needed?
yes, and absolutely, they could be in the 22,000 that got let go. But in business always cut to the bone, and then said, oh, if we want, we could always hire people back.
Correct.
The government, that doesn't work like that, because there is built-in redundancy into the government, and it has to have built-in redundancy. I would say cut, but do it incrementally. Do 10,000, 10,000, and 10,000. Don't do all 30 at once and put it into a disarray. There's ways to do it, and but Trump knew that even with 10,000, he was going to be challenged. Mm-hmm. And so
it's a big number. I mean,
but his thing was, I'm cutting,
Well, listen, we all knew he said he was draining the swamp. I mean, let's be real here.
Well, I think when he said draining the swamp, a lot of people had the idea that it wasn't, the people. It was more of government officials. But in the end, the last 3 years, you knew what exactly he wanted to do. The government was too large. Mm-hmm. Taking a congressman or senator and putting another senator or congressman in there is not draining anyone. Nope. It was the jobs. But the jobs had to go. And you looked at, there was a 31%, I think it was 31% increase in the federal government since Biden took over. The economy didn't grow by 31%. The population did rise a bit because of the illegals, mm-hmm. but it didn't rise to 31%. And even if it did rise to 31%, it isn't a gauge that floats up. You have to just, modernize. A lot of the problem was the government didn't want to modernize. And because that took away jobs. It was the same thing that happened to the American auto industry. When Japan was building Toyotas with only 30 people in a factory on the assembly line and chunking out all these cars for $5,000 and $6,000. And the American companies go, oh, that would cost me $1 billion to retool. I'm not doing that. It's just stupid to hire people. And, we take these cars out for, $8,000, and it only cost me $3,000 to make by the time we were done. And then they got caught behind the 8 ball. And, then they had to retool, but already they lost their market. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with the government. There are ways to streamline the government. And it needs to be done. It needs to be streamlined. And assimilate, migrate, or die. And the government either has to assimilate to what's going on in the technology side and embrace it and put it in there. You don't need a different computer system in this agency than that agency than that agency. You need everyone on the same
that all
page.
Speaks to each
right,
other. Yeah,
on the same page.
Understood that.
And
well,
that was done.
I mean, yes and no. I kind of do.
But there's ways to protect that now, and there's ways to do it in a sensible and logical way. And you have someone like Elon Musk, and I guarantee you, if this was Oracle or IBM that had approached Trump and go, hey, I'm on your team, I support you, boom, boom, it would have been them instead of Elon.
Correct.
Trump liked Elon because he's quirky. And he's quirky like he is. Trump is quirky.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah, they both work insane amount of hours. They don't sleep. They're on the same wavelength. How do you compete when he goes, well, everyone should be like me? Well,
it's
no,
an
you can't.
innovator, and I think
That's what made them them.
Don't deny him that.
Right,
Like,
they're quirky,
brilliant mind.
but it doesn't mean that they're wrong or that there's anything wrong with them. It's just that they're quirky people, and if you look at a lot of successful people, they're quirky. Mm-hmm. Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla. These were quirky people. And I don't know. Maybe they look at us and they go, oh, a bunch of quirky people. I don't know. So,
We're all dropped on our heads.
yeah, really. So yeah, they're probably looking, oh my God, how did humanity get to where we are? These guys are still, rubbing their backs with a stick,
Back scratcher.
So, well, all right, we're ending this. It's about an hour and a half now.
Oh, okay.
So I got to edit this, and I haven't done anything in like 10 days. But
Get to work, old man.
well, no sniffing, no
I
no
know.
coughing, no no. I got my tail.
Hot toddy.
Really, yeah, really, and did a lot of sleep. No, I went to Disney for 4 days, and
You survived.
yeah, pushed my wife
I was gonna say pushing mom. Right?
pushing my wife in a wheelchair,
You survived.
and I want to go in the antique shop. I go, your legs work, you just can't walk long distances. I don't have to push you through a Disney store where your house is a Disney store. I said, you can walk through there. I'm going to be sitting over here waiting for you. This mule needs a break.
But no, you do sound a lot better.
Yeah.
You're breathing better. Yeah.
Moved
Your
80
color is better.
Yeah. Yeah. People that told me, he goes, ooh, your color all came back.
Like you.
Yeah. And I go, yeah, I was sick.
Yeah.
I was swollen. I was sick.
But anyway, you're better now.
Nothing that 80 bags of mulch that I had to carry.
Demon out.
Yeah, really. And not only did I have to carry the mulch, but I had to load it in my truck to boot. So I'm taking it like 3 and 4 times, a
little sweat action.
Oh my God.
Sweat it out.
Walking in the bushes, I fell.
Oh yes.
I crashed like a rocket.
And I'm laughing. No.
And my wife was looking at security cameras. I got security cameras all around my house, and I had nothing better to do one day. And I don't know if I was on Temu or whatever. And I said, "Ooh, who doesn't need 48 cameras?
Bundle insane."
Yeah. And so I put up all these cameras, and I told my wife she had gone to the store and I was working. I fell, and so I came in and took a shower. I go, that's it. I said, I'm really hurting, and she looked and she goes, you laid on that ground for 5 minutes.
I think you might have were out.
Yeah. Oh, I hit that ground and it just knocked the air on it, and I caught my foot. And, I tried to rebalance myself, but now you accelerate, you're like the Fred Flintstone, and bang, I went down, and I was like, ugh. And as I'm going, I go, I should protect my bad arm and by then I'm eating grass and, I'm skidding. It looked like the plane that went upside down, landed, And I finally got myself up, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going in the house, and now I'm bleeding. And some of the medicine I'm on, you just bleed. I'm like a hemophiliac. And she came in and she goes, there's blood all over your clothes. I go, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can follow it. It looks like a crime scene out there.
Your neighbor's like, something got murdered in between the house.
Yeah, really. I haven't seen a wolf do that much damage. And then I was working the other day, and I poked myself, and it was just really bleeding bad. And my granddaughter saw it and freaked out. She was like, Grandpa's bleeding! And I go, it's nothing. And she goes,
You're spraying.
It's like
You're like, it's nothing. It's just a little
It's
brand.
okay.
I need a brand.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
Grandpa's squirt blood. That's what they do, honey. It's okay. Grandma comes out and they go, oh, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, you were bleeding the other night when we were at our soccer team.
Oh, that's right. Maureen was like,
Look at your arm, man. You're bleeding everywhere.
You're tripping all over the place here.
Get it together.
And she goes, let me wipe the blood. And she takes a napkin, and the condensation on the side of her drink, she's like this. And she's like, and I'm going, really?
And what is condensation? Water. Yeah. It was fine.
Yeah.
You were fine. You were bleeding everywhere. You're worried about, an infection, for goodness sakes. I mean, it was already open in the air. I'm pleased.
I said, you could get one of those little hand moisture towel things over there.
I found
and then
one.
she found one, and then, I'm putting it on there, and I go, oh, this is really bloody. This is pretty bad.
I smell like lemon and blood. What a combination. Anyway.
I'm surprised they still served me. Yeah. All right, I'm going to say good night to everyone. This will be up in the morning. I'm not going to do it tonight. Be safe. Say a prayer. Give to a charity. Make sure it's a registered charity. You reach out to that charity. Do not answer charities reaching out to you. Do not become a victim helping a victim. Give what you can. Charity begins at home. And with that, we're going to fade to black.